Mark Rogers TV here to crush the BCS and build a college football playoff system from the ground up. We love college football. It's such an incredible product on the field, but the system is flawed and screwed up. We need a playoff system. Every legitimate team competitive sport in North America and around the world uses a playoff system to determine a champion. It's the logical, reasonable way. Even my kids' softball and baseball little leagues play a playoff to determine who's best. Anybody who says that the BCS works in any given year, you name the year, and I will tell you who got left out. There are usually 4 or 5 teams with similar credentials as the 2 teams in the BCS National Championship game who got left out. The BCS never works. Back in 1986, yeah, I know it was 25 years ago, I'm old, we were asked in English class to fix something, write a paper to fix something. I fixed college football. Here's how it goes. You've got 120 Division 1A playing football teams, currently called the FBS. They play in 11 conferences, 6 BCS leagues, 5 other leagues. We know that those 11 leagues and those 120 teams are not created equally. They're not treated equally. So you do one of 2 things. You either take the 5 other leagues, you sanction them off, you let them play their own championship, play a whole different brand and level of football. You take the 6 BCS leagues and you play a championship. Or you do what I'd like to do. You keep it together. All 11 conferences, all 120 some odd teams. And you play a playoff of 16 teams. You take the 11 conference champions and 5 wild cards. Therefore, you ensure that the best teams in the country make the playoff tournament, but you also keep the element of surprise, the element of Cinderella, like March Madness. If you win a conference championship, you've punched your ticket. You get to play with the big boys. In the Sun Belt Conference, in the MAC, in the Mountain West, in Conference USA, you get to play with the big boys. And if you go on a streak of 3 to 4 weeks, you will play for the national championship. So you've got 11 conference champions. You've got 5 wild cards, which are determined by a legitimate system, not the BCS formula, which encapsulates the human touch, the human flawed system, the polls. No, you go with strength of schedule, you go with quality wins, you go with quality losses, especially on the road, to determine those 5 wildcard teams, which will typically come from the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, etc. You play 2 weeks following the end of the conference championship season. Therefore, if you look at the 2011 calendar, we play our conference championship games on December 3rd. Give the kids a week off the weekend of December 10th. Come back and play the first round, the 16-team playoff first round, on December 17th. Then you play the 24th on Christmas Eve. You play the semifinals on New Year's Eve, which will probably turn out to be the biggest thing you could imagine aside from the Super Bowl. And then the national championship game this year would be January 7th, 2012. So the administrators, the school presidents who say a playoff takes the kids out of class, you play the season with less teams than you currently do in the same amount of time. Let's give you a look at what would have happened in 2010 had we play the Mark Rogers TV formula for a playoff system. You would have had SEC champion Auburn, the 1 seed, Pac-12 champion Oregon, the 2 seed, TCU, the Mountain West champion, the 3 seed, Stanford, the 4 seed, as a wild card, Wisconsin, the Big 10 champion, number 5, Oklahoma, the Big 12 champion, number 6. You can do anything with the seedings, so we could play around with that as well. Ohio State at number 7 is a wild card. Number 8 is Arkansas from the SEC as a wild card. Number 9, Virginia Tech out of the ACC is the champion there. 10, LSU, the 3rd SEC team, making it as a wild card. At number 12, we've got, actually at number 11, Nevada. They are the WAC champion. Number 12 is Oklahoma State out of the Big 12, a wild card. 13, UConn, the Big East champion. 14, Miami of Ohio. 15, Central Florida. And 16, Florida International, the Sun Belt champion. Match them off 1 to 16, 2 versus 15, etc. Yeah, you got some blowouts in the first round, but just imagine what would happen when that shocker happens. Whether it's 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the road, somebody out of nowhere is going to beat an Ohio State, a USC, a Texas. It would happen at some point. Yeah, we suffer through a few 48-0 games, but we get to the quarters and then the matchups are amazing. Again, match them up and play with it and see what kind of matchups we would get in late December. It would be amazing. It would be incredible. It has to happen for college football, a playoff system on Mark Rogers TV.